Genetic Engineering by Jenny Embry. Genetic engineering is the artificial manipulation, modification, and recombination of DNA or other nucleic acid molecules in order to modify an organism or population of organisms. Nearly all bacteria have an immune system called CRISPR that allows them to identify viruses and viral infections and then destroy it. Researchers have found that they can use it to target specific strands of DNA. Genetic engineering got its start in 1973 when Stanley H. Cohen and Herbert W. Boyer were one of the first biochemists to cut DNA into fragments, rejoin it as different fragments, and then place the new sequences into E. coli bacteria. And then those same techniques were applied to mice in 1974. By 1994, the first genetically modified foods were made available to the public. CRISPR is an acronym for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindrome Repeats. Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuelle Charpentier have enhanced CRISPR by adding Cas9, which is capable of finding, cutting, and degrading viral DNA in very specific ways. Through their research, they have discovered that by combining CRISPR and Cas9, it provides a way to precisely edit genome sequences, using it to delete and insert specific DNA molecules. Genetic editing technology can be used in humans in two main ways, either through somatic cells in attempts to treat or prevent disease, or in embryos for research purposes or to modify the germline in human reproduction. When genetic engineering is applied to plants, it can help improve the resilience, nutritional value, and growth rate of specific crops. The same technique can be used for animals so they can produce something that will benefit humans. For example, scientists have developed sheep that produce a therapeutic protein in their milk that can be used to treat cystic fibrosis. Researchers are working hard to perfect CRISPR-Cas9 and acquire it as an editing tool in human genetic sequences that could repair genetic defects and one day eradicate many diseases. 79.1% of college-educated people answered yes when asked if they would support introducing genetically modified mosquitoes that are unable to carry and transmit mosquito-borne illnesses as a way to reduce sickness and death caused by them. By using CRISPR technology, it is a possibility that cancer could be stopped in its initial stages by replacing the mutated gene with a corrected copy before any kind of radio or chemotherapy is necessary. Researchers are genetically engineering worms that glow in the dark as a way to learn more about diseases such as Alzheimer's. When a specific genetic sequence is replaced with Cas9, it can block entry of HIV to the immune cells. However, it does not guarantee success. Through genetic screening, biochemists are using CRISPR and Cas9 as a way to identify and locate mutations in a gene pool and then fix them. Nearly 10,000 medical conditions are linked to genetic mutations. Scientists are hoping to eradicate these hereditary diseases. Researchers are working hard to perfect CRISPR-Cas9 and acquire it as an editing tool in human genetic sequences that could repair genetic defects and one day eradicate many diseases. A survey found that 72.5% of college-educated people would support GM technology as a way to control disease. The alphabet of the human code is only 4 letters, yet it takes 3 billion of them to build a human. It is currently nearly impossible to determine what strands of DNA control certain parts of the human identity. Yet Riccardo Sabatini and his team have created a system that is able to understand human traits by training a machine to find common traits to translate human genomes to the largest database of human beings. As of right now, they are able to relatively predict height, BMI, eye color, skin color, and age. Genetic engineering is helpful to eliminate diseases that plague our race. But what happens when we are able to customize the looks of our offspring? Their otherwise random affinities, height, muscle structure, skin tone, eye color, etc.? It takes nature out of its process entirely, and is that something society can live with? I believe a moratorium is needed so that laws and regulations can be put in place before it is widely available to the public, so it is not abused and then disgraced. For those of you who agree with my stance, I encourage you to call our local lawmakers to get the topic of genetic engineering on the table.